Hello everyone and welcome to Beck Treks Australia. Today I'm going to go through my big three that I took with me on the overland track. The big three are the tent, sleeping bag and pack. They contribute to the biggest portion of the weight that you do carry on a trail and are so very essential when it comes to choosing your pack in your system. I guess it affects your whole hike quite significantly if you get something that's not really fit for purpose, or if you get something that doesn't really match the rest of your setup. So I'll go through that, what I took with me on the overland now. So I hiked the overland in the summer, so I didn't have to worry about carrying around very heavy items. So I took with me the Zpacks Arc Hold. So this model here, it is a little bit sturdier than the Blast and carries a little bit more, has a little bit more capacity than the Blast, coming to 62 litres in total. This pack comes in at 445 Australian dollars and weighs 680 grams. Now on top of that, this actual pack I'm holding right here weighs 837 grams because of the extras I got added to it. But without all these extras, the base weight's 680 grams. So to this pack, I like to add extras, and the reason I like to keep everything organized in different areas. I don't like everything just to go in one big bag or one big central area. So what I've done, I've added these side bags. I've added this lashing cord so I can attach my tent to the outside so that doesn't take up any internal space. I've added these shoulder pouches here so I can put my sunglasses or my snacks or something like that for the day in there. One on each side. Here I've got a waterproof pouch, that's where I keep my mobile phone and any electronics with me, my battery charger, like recharger and things like that. One for each side. I've got extra lumbar support here. I honestly don't know if you need it or not. I've only hiked with this pack with the lumbar support in, so and it's been comfortable so far, so I'm not going to remove it, and that only comes to 28 grams. You know, most of these items, the shoulder pouches, they're 28 grams each. These guys here, the belt pouches for the pair. Sorry, that was a pair, 28 grams for the pair. Pair of belt pouches, 42 grams. These side pouches come to a total of 28 grams. Also, I've got ice axe loops, so I don't actually use them for an ice axe. I use them inside my pack to keep my sleeping mat rolled up tightly instead of taking the sleeping mat bag. I just find it's a lot quicker and easier to do that. On top of that, I've got the V-top strap, so that's an extra 14 grams. So instead of just having a single buckle that goes across the top, it's a V shape, so if you do store, say, like your sleeping mattress or tent at the top, it's just a more secure system. And finally, like I said before, the shock cord lashing here, that's 14 grams. Again, I put my tent in there, or you can put like a bed roll or something like that in there. So this pack has a total capacity of 62 litres. So the main compartment, that carries 49 litres. Then in these side pockets, 2.5 litres each, so you would probably put a 1.25 litre water bottle in there, or maybe a rain gear or something like that. And then you've got 8 litres in this pouch here, which you should be able to carry a small tent in there. However, I put my Crocs in there and then put the tent on the outside, so I don't want to put camp shoes inside my pack, it's a waste of space. So I usually put my rain gear on the sides, that's just so they're quickly accessible. I got water bottles on the side, my tent on the outside, camp shoes on the outside, and that's basically it. Then I've got some snacks and nibbles in here, my sunglasses, first aid kit and water purification go in these. And then I've got my electronics in one, and probably more snacks or anything else I really need to get to during the day, maybe my knife, and that's really it. So that's the first part, the pack. The next part I'm going to go through is the shelter. So I choose to sleep in a single walled tent. I have the Zpacks triplex tent because I hike with my partner. So as a solo person, definitely if you're looking at getting Zpacks tent, get the duplex. So I hiked with a triplex, which is perfect for 2 people. There is plenty of space. You can even chuck a small dog in there, or probably even a large dog if you don't mind sleeping without, really close to each other. But there is plenty of room in that tent. You can even put your packs in there as well with you. So I'm going to use it on my solo trip simply because I have it. This guy cost me, just short of $1,000 Australian dollars, and that's with US conversion and shipping. And that was actually with a discount from Z-Packs. Otherwise I was gonna go over $1,000 and then I'd get whopped with a lot of customs and tax fees and everything for importing it into Australia. You can get alternatively the duplex. That's about $870 Australian, conversion with shipping and all that sort of thing, which is a bit more feasible, but this is not cheap. I guess you are paying for the quality of the product, fantastic design, and I guess the most important thing, how lightweight it is. It is actually very, very durable too. So this one comes in at 638 grams. That is for the blue model or the olive drab model. I have the spruce green model, which is their strongest model. I figured if I'm going to be spending that much money, I might as well pay the extra $15, get one that's a lot thicker. It does add an extra 71 grams to the tent total, but I say it's a small extra of, I guess, assurance, because it's not easy for me to send it all the way back to America if something goes wrong with it. So I just want to prevent that from happening. If they had a retail store in Australia, different story, I'd definitely get the lighter weight one. So that's an extra $15 for that spruce green one. Alternatively, you can get a slightly stronger one than the olive drab or the blue, but a little bit less strong as the spruce green. This is the strongest they sell. And you can get the camo. So that weighs an extra 56 grams instead of the 71 grams. And that costs an extra $30, I guess, because of the colour, the print of it. And that does block out more sunlight than what this one does, or the blue one, or the olive drab one. So a few things to weigh up, a few options there. But I absolutely love the design of this. If you haven't looked into a Z-Packs duplex or triplex before, certainly do that, because these tents are fantastic, and I absolutely loved sleeping in it because there was just so much space. You could sit up comfortably, and you didn't feel cramped at any point in time, especially with 2 people in the triplex. The only downfall is, I guess, it's $1,000 for a tent. You can probably buy 3 for that price here in Australia, but you're probably looking at well over $1 kilo for a tent at that price. So to go with my tent, I also bought the Z-Packs Sonic 6-inch tent pegs. These are about $2 each if you buy them in batches of 8. Otherwise, they're $2.25 each. And I've also got a spare amount of nylon just little thin cord that comes with it. Sorry, it doesn't come with it. I ordered it separately. It doesn't weigh much at all. So that's just in case my drawstrings break, or if I need to make them a bit longer, because this tent is quite difficult to set up until you need a little bit of practice. Once you've got practice, it's fine. So that's it. That's the stake. Yeah, and so I got 12 of the stakes there. I can't actually remember the weight of them. I'll pop them in the description below. But they were one of the lightest ones I could find, hence why I bought them all the way from the United States. So that's my shelter. Just note that doesn't come with any poles. It does require you to carry hiking poles. So if you're a person who doesn't use hiking poles, it may not be the best tent for you, or you may want to consider hiking with them, because hiking poles certainly, I find, reduce the amount of energy you use, reduces strain from your knees and your ankles and your muscles and your legs. It also relieves, I guess, strain on your back, because I find you can sort of move some of your weight through to your hands, and I just find it is a lot easier hiking. You can move a lot quicker, and you're a lot more confident on your feet, knowing that you've got 2 extra points of contact. And I've found that those poles have saved me quite a numerous amount of times from falling or slipping in areas on wet or rocky surfaces. So the last one is the sleeping bag of the big 3. So I'm carrying the One Planet mummy shaped cocoon, regular size for a person of my height, 172 centimeters. It's 800 plus loft DWR duck down. So that basically DWR is just the water resistant spray they put onto the feathers before they pack them into the bag. That just helps with them resisting, absorbing water and moisture, because once down sucks in the water, usually it stays wet and it's hard to get it to dry out. So that's what the DWR is, and you'll find most downs have that coating on it. And it's very important that you do get it if you, when you are doing research and you're going to buy your own sleeping bag. So that's the cocoon. That's obviously the stuff sack it comes in. I don't really want to carry the stuff sack. What I'll do instead, because I hate stuffing it more so, I've actually just got a dry bag, an Ultrasil from Cedar Summit. I put my sleeping bag in here. I put my, camp clothing in here, which consists of my thermals, my fleece jacket if I don't need it during the day, and my down jacket. That will all go in here, and then I'll basically just compress this down as small as it goes, roll it up, and and then put it at the bottom of my pack because I won't need that for the whole day till I get to camp. And I can compress this quite significantly, and I find that this bag itself is a lot lighter than the sleeping bag that it comes with, and I hate sitting there in the morning. It's the worst thing to just stuff your sleeping bag in this pack into that bag. So yeah, that's my sleeping bag in here. It is really warm. It says it's -11. That's its lower limit. So you don't want to be heading out on a trip you're expecting -10, -11 degrees. What you want to use that for is maybe a -5 degree trip, and then you'll probably be comfortable at that. If you're a female, you may even want to go, even warmer for if it was -5, because I find that -11 sleeping bag was comfortable for me when it was close to close to 0 degrees. Much cooler than that, I actually would have got cold in that sleeping bag, and I still sleep with a liner inside that sleeping bag because I just feel the cold. Even zipped up and with a down jacket on, I still get quite cold if it goes much below 0. And I don't think that's a downfall of the bag itself. I just sleep I get cold very easily, unfortunately. I have bought a new sleeping bag, which I'll talk about in another video once it arrives, and I'm hoping that that's going to be a bit warmer. So yep, that's the One Planet. That weighs 975 grams. So it's not the lightest one out there. Again, my one I got on order has cost me a bit more money. It is lighter than this one and it is warmer. So I'm going to try that. So yeah, that pretty much is it. They're my big 3 that I took on the overland. They all worked perfectly. The pack was perfect. The tent, that was absolutely amazing. That was the first time I used the tent, and there's nothing to complain about there. Even though it was single walled, I didn't get a condensation problem, which I was worried about. So that was great. And my sleeping bag, that I hiked with that in the Bibbulmun, so I've used that sleeping bag probably for well over 70 days, 70 nights. I've slept in it 70 nights, and look, it works great. It's a fantastic sleeping bag, but I just sleep cold, so I'm going to be upgrading soon. So that's it. They're my big 3. If you have any questions, or if you have any other videos you want me to make specifically about equipment I take with me, please do pop them in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you and make a video if I can. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Thanks guys.